Let y'all see my little, what was that? Oh, my little makeup, my session. I just finished going live. I know that YouTube has suppressed my videos because they wanted to demonetize me twice. So, as somebody with almost 8,000 followers, been demonetized twice because I have an error on a thing that I can't fix. But anyway, I'm coming off of the 2-day training, the free 2-day training live in my Facebook group, and I decided to hop on here on my phone because I know that it moves a little different on the phone. And so while I am downloading the video, I wanted to invite you, evening, hi. Wanted to invite you behind the scenes off the heels of the free 2-day training. This is the badge that people should be sharing. They're starting to post it on their socials. And so, like I was saying, I know that YouTube has suppressed my videos, demonetized me from an error that I can't, like some Google Pixel, something that I couldn't fix. And so they weren't moving my videos. And so I was like, you know what? It's all right. We had the biggest turnout so far in the Facebook group. And when people say Facebook groups, I think can be hit or miss for people, but our Facebook group, our live trainings in there have been really successful. So Facebook has been a good platform for us. And so we had almost 100 RSVPs. And you can expect about, they say like a third of the turnout rate. I think our turnout rate, last I checked, we had like 90, maybe 90 something RSVPs for today's training. And then at the I saw about 45 people in the live stream in the group. So I was like, okay, that's about half, 50%, which is really dope. And then we have really high engagement and so excited. I love doing these 2-day trainings. I love to provide this information for free for those who can value it. And like I said there, I'm not gonna go back and forth. Well, I never really went back and forth about methods. I only gave information, but sometimes my fire in me when somebody, sometimes people comment in disrespectful tone on video like, and then fire would kick back, and I'm like, I'm a whole therapist, and I talk about managing anger, managing emotion, and I said I don't have energy to pour into someone about how they want to start their locks. I'm going to continue to share value to those who appreciate it. But I just finished getting out of heavy sessions with people. I was in a session last week with a person who had an active panic attack while she was on the phone in a hospital. She lost her home. She's handicapped. They gave her Xanax while she was on the phone, and then she calmed down. I've had sessions with people who took a hit of fentanyl that morning. I'm dealing with some real deal things in my career that I love as well. And so and as I'm getting older, I guess it's getting easier for me to be true to me and like do things that are me. And if I like to get on, I used to love to get on YouTube. I still do like to talk about, things that would be helpful for people and the things I'm interested in. And at that time, it was this thing I was coining microlocs, and I was like, YouTube, okay, let me go in here and talk about it. And from people who go way back, someone on our live said she used to watch my videos in 2014. I said, oh my gosh, my baby was 1 year old, and I remember that time, and it was me trying to struggle with not being visible as much because I was a single mother now and I didn't know what to do. But all I wanted to do before I had my daughter was get on there and talk about how you can have great results with hair. I, was doing it as a professional, and I had clients tell that I was building and growing. And I was like, so here's some tips. Here's some things. Here's some information. I whistleblowed a lot about the Sister Law Company, which I think really, really it really toughened my skin because I didn't realize how this industry was until I encountered them first, and I was kind of disheartened, but I was like, it's okay. I'm a social worker. I know how to advocate. I know how to fight for justice. I mean, I worked in Newark, I worked in Brooklyn. I was always like, I know a struggle in a fight and I'm not scared of one. But I also was like, but dang, like, I love hair and I know hair is transformative, but I didn't know people could be so nasty in the industry. But now I feel like I have another way that's opened up for my energy is moving towards. And it's about talking about that. It's talking about not only is it hair trauma, I think there's hair industry trauma. There's beauty industry trauma. There's a lot of me included. I'm very sensitive and I may react to stuff in a way, but it's really everything is a way for us to get insight about ourselves to become our best versions of ourselves. So when we are in certain industries and we think it's not related and you encounter something like very emotional people about like hair is extremely emotional, beauty and all this stuff. And you're like, some people left. One woman I met at a hair show, she was like, I really wanted to make hair products and I really wanted to get into this field. But after walking around and seeing some of the nonsense I see at this, she said, I hate to say, but I don't want to do it anymore. And I felt so sad. But she was like meeting it, like the energy, y'all. So many people are wounded and hurt, including myself. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I came into the industry hypersensitive, lacking a support system, depressed a bit because I was just like starting a business. People don't really talk much about how business alone can trigger depression because it's very isolating feeling. It taps into a lot of you. And sometimes a lot of people do a lot of work trying to like just make it through the day and make it through life. And these triggers come up in the most unexpected ways. There was a lot of, you think of people start business, they get kind of sad about like who supports them or not, because your family ain't gonna support you unless it's your family business. And even then it could be all types of stuff come out. And so I remember just my going through it and going through getting on YouTube where I could not get on YouTube because the comments were so freaking nasty. Y'all, like from y'all sister lock coat, like it was like, she doing stepsister. No, they didn't say that to me because you can clearly see my, like, I was showing my work and my hair. And so I think it was threatening and it was kind of like trying to really hurt me. And all I was trying to do was say, hey, here's some information about tools. And I was distributing for a popular other tool. And here's some information about X, Y, and Z and what I'm building, Microlocs. And, and it was like, coming from me. So I feel like I want to open up space for that because I don't mind being transparent. I do not mind. And then after I had my daughter, postpartum was heavy as hell. It already was existing like little down depressive symptoms, but it got into like, I was like, I'm self-diagnosing myself with major depression disorder because I'm depressed. And I remember I shared that. I don't have a problem sharing that. From the weight gain to the being completely isolated for months. I mean, I felt like the first weeks of her life, but months, to no one. And it was just like scribbling and scrambling. And I remember how low it was. And then doing clients' hair. So I'm like, I can understand how it could be for some people who are going through major loss or major things. But child, I'm seeing this question. Thank y'all for the comments. Yeah, I'm demonetized. Trifling YouTube. So I was monetized way back when, right? Way back when I was moving, them videos was moving. I was like, microloc. Nobody else is talking about it. Let's be real. You cannot find no videos before mine, right? So then people was looking for this information. I was monetized. I got them little Google checks. And then I became pregnant. That was a part of my depression. Like everything stopped. And I was struggling. And then I remember I worked really hard and I got remonetized like last year, 2 years, maybe almost. Let's just say last year, 1.5 years ago. Yeah, I was happy. And then they said, we can't, something's broken, fix it. And I asked all these people, fix it, help me. I need to figure out what to do. Everybody kept trying. I guess I didn't do it in time. I looked and it was demonetized again. I exceeded the watch hours. I exceeded everything, but it was like they started me from scratch again. I was like, you know what? I don't do this for money. Like, I don't do this for Because if I did, it would look a lot different. I do this to be real, and when you're real, you don't get the same kind of traction. But I'm also very proud of that. Like, I'm very, very proud of that. I'm not gonna, I don't, I've always said, you're not gonna see me following the crowd or doing stuff that's not authentic to me. So that way, I don't like buy followers or none of that stuff. So everything you see is real. Like, if there's a follow or like or whatever. And so I don't care about that. But I was just like, YouTube is trifling, but I understand it. And so if it is intended, if it is meant to be that, it will be. Otherwise, I'm not going to fake or do anything out of character, but I will probably put more strategy into the information. Like, you know, I really do like doing the free trainings in the Facebook group. Facebook doesn't pay me for that. I think my personal page made like $5 or something. Just my personal page, but it's just like, okay, y'all, sorry. I'm having such a difficult time getting reliable help out here. Where are you? Follicle decolonization. Ooh, I love that. I can't believe old girl did that. I'm still hot behind that. Almost a year later. Hi, Jessica from Angela. Still down here. Oh, wait. Oh, hi, Angela. I remember it was like, yes. I don't know the name. The Joseph Gaming must be somebody else's account. Hey, thank you for watching Swagger Jack in the Microlocs. I remember I was one of your, yeah, Angela, I talked about you today. You're always extremely passionate about the Microlocs from the beginning. Thank you. You're in LA, son? Okay, I have some people out in LA. Well, I think, sir, did she certify? I gotta look. It's too many. Listen to me sounding, but it's too many people in the program now. I don't mean to sound like that, but there are a lot of people. We are hundreds and hundreds of people in the program. I can't keep track, but I know LA because I go out there and I have Reggie with the Nappywood, the film producer and friend. Oh, she's my girl. And so I got a little network in LA, but we are looking to do some things. And Reggie is well connected. She's really well connected out there. So we're gonna see what we can do. I love going out to LA. I really do. I like it out there. Hey girl, that's my grandson's name. He's been playing with my phone. My daughter, she got on my account and she uploaded some little stupid game. And I was like, I know people was probably like, girl, what do you, if anybody was watching, but back then I had more views because I wasn't so suppressed. But now I'm like, YouTube. But anyway, we had a good training. We'll do day 2 tomorrow. And I'm in a new place. I moved in July. July was crazy. June, July. Yeah, and then so I did an actresses here out in LA. That's the last time I was there. I'm gonna whisper in it. And I keep seeing her commercial with my hair, the extensions I did on her hair. But I'm like, I can't say it. So every time I cut the TV on, I need to make sure she's ready for me to tell. I don't like to say without like agreeing, the other person agreeing. But I mean, also I don't really want to take extension. I want to funnel it to our network. Or people or pros who can do extensions, because that was so backbreaking intensive. It took me a really long time to do her hair, and she had a time crunch. And then I felt like, so I went out there twice. She came here, and then I went there to LA last, and it was just took so long. So I'm watching some award show, and that's the first commercial I saw. I saw locks. I was like, that locks are nice. I was like, that's my work. And then today I was watching Pluto TV, and I was watching a commercial because I think Paramount Plus, like they run their commercials, CBS. And then I saw her hair flipping and waving, and I was like, oh my gosh, I guess I should start saying something. But even then, if I don't, my friend was like, just to know, I can just hold that in confidence and say that I did that, and that's really a nice accomplishment. I don't know. I'm just excited because I really want it to be opportunities for people in the network. My vision is not to be doing, Angela, you were my first client, and I really don't do clients anymore. I only have like very exclusive, and I don't really want to because I'm not the same age. I'm also a therapist. I do a lot of work, and I want to do some more work for So I'm gonna really get some big funding. I'm putting that out there in the universe. And if anybody tries to sabotage, like the funding is for us. I'm gonna get funding to give to in the form of grants, in the form of scholarships, in the form of I really want to do grants and just like fund people's businesses. And so yeah, I got some stuff going on. And so I can't do hair like that. I don't want to do hair like that anymore. I want to teach people to do their build their own empires with their skills. So she needs to tag you. Yeah, but okay, this is a vent session. I don't mind putting. I don't know. I don't want to force anybody. But I also want to be respectful. Yeah, you still lock yourself, or are you strictly CEO? I do have a couple of clients, but they're like my friends. So it's like we get together, we literally have some food, watch a movie, I do your hair. It's become like that. I think a couple of people, I'll tell y'all this story. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Well, because I feel like a lot of people watch me on YouTube, and I don't want to, like, I'm not slandering anybody. I did go on a limb and take someone. We did the consult. I told her my rates. I told her my price. She even signed a service policy with the price on it per hour. And we did 5 hours. And when I told the price, it was the worst it was the worst energy. It was very upset. What? And I said, that's my price. Like, I literally blocked out my day of social work, my day of running the team, of running the students to do hair, and that's the rate that I had to charge. And I didn't even think that. I know people who charge probably the same or even more. I've seen someone on a live today, she paid $3,000 for 2-strand twists and $1,000 for her retightening. So I could tell you, it nowhere near was I charging $1,000 to this woman. And I'm running this whole thing. And so I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, because it just felt draining. And then like the negativity and the attitude about the pricing when we had already had all this discussion was like kind of discouraging. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore. It hurts my body now. I have to sit, like I can't just stand there like that anymore. My back starts to hurt, and I don't want anybody to feel like that. Used to do Brandy's hair, yes. Oh, I'm sure you got some stories. Brandy's hair looked amazing. Yeah, I want to hear your story. So tell me later. You don't have no inbox here? Oh man, send me a email. info@microlocmastery.com. That's what it is. Man, you planning to come to Brooklyn for the winter, spring? You already want a rendezvous? Yes, let's do it. I don't live in Brooklyn anymore. I live in Jersey, but I'm close. I'm close to the George Washington Bridge, but I'm like 45 minutes from Brooklyn now. But I'm still like in the vicinity. So I did host a training in person in Englewood, where I am, Englewood, New Jersey. And so I ended up having return students. It's already an online program. But I love that because I get to meet her. She drove from Virginia. I might do that again, but it takes a lot of my time. It takes all my Saturdays. I could tell you some stories. Yeah. And I like the person's hair I did. I think she's a good heart and she's a good person. I just think there was a lot of pressure and time restraint, and it just put pressure on both of us. And the work is so meticulous when you do extensions. Like, it's just a lot more work. And sometimes you can't gauge. There's a lot of unpredictability sometimes. At least when you're doing your own hair, you know how much hair you're working with, and it's faster than extensions. Extensions can take like a week. Like, if you want them long, then you got to cut them. But I was happy to see that it looked good. But she didn't want them too neat. So then I was like, ooh, I would have done them neater. I would have, like, she wanted them a certain way. So you live in Crown Heights, Mazel Tov. Yeah. I'm excited. Okay, so I just wanted to get on YouTube to refresh my algorithm, just to refresh it. I know some of y'all don't watch or like stuff. It's okay. I've come to terms. I used to be really excited. I was working really hard to get remonetized, and I was celebrating when I did, and then I couldn't get the. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like a part of my journey is to not be. It's kind of like some people might think that's not good for business, but no. It's something about not being doing stuff for not trend. I don't know how to say it. I think people appreciate more because it's kind of like, um, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It feels more real, I guess, and not so flashy or like I'm doing things to get you like, or I'm just worried about numbers or fake. I don't know. Everything you see is real. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes I'm like stumbling. Somebody say, you look nervous. I wasn't nervous in the video. I was like, what? Half the time I'm biting, when the comments come, I'm biting my tongue. But then now I'm like, YouTube has been a roller coaster ride for me. There was a time I was so scared. I got so many alerts on one of my videos back in the day, that it would come like several times a day, and I would be so scared to open them. Sometimes it would be like okay comments, and sometimes it would be like, who she think she sister like this, and she thinks she did it, and how you gonna say, and how you gonna, and it's like I'm just trying to help. And I remember that, and I remember I was like, I can't take this no more. I can't take it anymore. I gotta raise this baby. I'm in severe depression. I was like, oh no, I can't do YouTube. And then I remember those days. So it gave me like PTSD, child. This whole see. Never should mental health have ever been on the back burner. Mental health is just, if not more important than your physical health. Just as much as people go to the doctor, to the dentist, to this and that, they need to be going and making sure that they're mental, because it is so fragile. And like, people are going through things, and people go through things and get on social media or YouTube, be going in the comments and tearing up, just tearing up, like, and then, other people were taking it, like me, I was sensitive. I was taking all this to heart, and I was like, oh, but now I'm just like, whatever. I might say something, but sometimes it hits you. It's like, dang, like, really? Although that's why I'm like, y'all don't really see me engaged. So maybe it's really good that I'm not like with all the whatever many followers and all that. Unless I have somebody managing it for me, I don't got time for it. It wouldn't even really probably be like that, because I wouldn't be engaging like that. It's either you like the information and you can send some love and share, and adds a little credibility, so people be like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. But I don't need it to be like, I'm not trying to fill in the gap of how I feel about myself. There's so much conversation to have about social media, child. So I met some people in person in this niche that, and the way the disrespect was, and I was like, I'm in such a better place, because that would have really done like, oh man. She was like, and I consider myself a Microloc master, and I'm like, chick, that's my freaking trademark. Like, you don't know, like, I'm telling you who I am, and you acting like I'm the gum on the heel of your shoe, but you're building a whole business and trying to build an empire off of something that somebody laid right in front of you. And that was just, that stuff kind of used to really hurt me. But then I realized it's all right. It's all right. She doesn't know, and it really was testament to other people's character too, because like, there's a lot of energy around, that's not a lot of emotion, and so sometimes I just gotta take it with a grain of salt and be the therapist, the person that can demonstrate emotional regulation and dealing with your triggers, and dealing, because there's stuff in this industry a lot of people are doing to fulfill a uh, lack of a worthiness thing. That's what the likes of followers. Some people that didn't have friends in school, who now have a lot of followers, they put a lot of energy into getting a certain amount of attention because it fulfills something in them. There's some people that could care less about the quality or anything in the industry, and they're more focused on being famous or internet famous or having followers, because it'll validate something in them. And that's where like the therapist hat comes on, and it's kind of like, yeah, I don't want to dance that dance. Like, I want to work on me, loving me, and hopefully helping other people be their best, be their best, hear my story, hopefully inspire, help and assist. We walk in this walk together. Cause child, I remember I got on Instagram one night and I was venting. There was something going on. Maybe it was off the heels of Joanne calling me bootleg or something. And I just got on Instagram and I was like, oh man, I can't remember. I felt like I was channeling. No, I do get downloads. I was channeling. I was in messages was coming out. People were like, save this live, please. I was like, you know, when it comes to worthiness and our sense of self and all of this, it was just coming out. There's just so many of us that have such great gifts and talents, and then we get into an industry and we just see the darkness of it, and you're like, you suppress yourself, or it's suppressed in you, or people are threatened by you. That's the plain and simple. People are threatened by other people's greatness. And when people start working on themselves, really working on, like really getting into really feeling good about themselves, a lot of that stuff would diminish. No one is ever a threat to you because no one is you. You are so uniquely divine. And if we really, really understood, I can go all the way down a rabbit hole, No, and then I will sound crazy. So I'll save that. But there's a lot of deeper, this little spiritual conversation I want to have, because everyone is a reflection of us too. Everyone is a reflection of us, which goes into why sometimes people treat each other bad, because that's how they feel about themselves. If I'm looking at a mirror of myself and I don't like myself, I'm looking at you do something that the version of myself right now feels it can't do. And I've always wanted to do. Why would I ever clap for you if I don't feel good about myself? Because that's only going to feel like I'm taking away from myself more. And I'm already feeling low. So, you know, then there's the people that want to be like you and then they copy or copy. I saw somebody mannerisms and everything. I'm like, girl. Some people really tuning into who they are. They don't even know who they are. So they just have to, only they can do is kind of morph into something that they aspire to be. But if you just be yourself unapologetically, there's no one that can really be. There's no one that can be you. You're not a cookie cutter or anything. I'm assertive woman is always considered a threat. Yeah. Someone told me I sounded stank, and I was like, they're not from the New York, New Jersey area, because I literally was like really sweet as pie. And they're like, some things you say just sound stank. I was like, some things I say just sound like I lived in Brooklyn. And I'm just saying, not sounding like I said something. Just make sure you let us. We all have to be on the same page when you speak to the students or whatever I said, so that we can all be on the same page. So whatever. No response. What you say sounds stank. I'm a CEO. I'm saying it as nice as some people wouldn't even be that nice. Like, haters make you famous. But then they always say, I heard somebody say this, and it really was true. The haters are a version of ourselves that, wait, hold up. Either they bring to light, I don't know how they said it. They said it in a better way, but I know all it is bringing out something in me. I don't even want to say it's necessarily a version of myself. I always feel like everything is a version of myself, but in a sense, like, if someone says anything against you, or you feel like someone's working against you, as an aspect of yourself. It's bringing out a better version of yourself. That's what it's really supposed to do. It's not supposed to bring us down. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not really in my channel mode, but I know what I want to say. But so then I don't even look at it. I just look at it as a reflection of myself, reflecting back to me, trigger things about myself. So what is being brought up in me by that person? Am I feeling insecure about myself? Am I, like, it's a deeper level. It's the kind of self-awareness that some people don't go that far or want to go that far, but it really does serve a purpose to have the trigger of the conflict, because now it brings it out for you to work on it and to see it and get, so then you'll be immune to it. Thank you so much. Police and language are basic. You're so haters make you. Oh yeah, I don't know what I was commenting. Oh, it's so good to talk on my phone. I was like, I put a little bit of makeup, right? So I was like, let me go live, because I would have scared y'all earlier if y'all saw me. No, I did my therapy session with some rollers in the back and some of these like pushed up, and I put these glasses on so I can look like Jessyca Marshall therapist. It's all fingerprints, and then I had it back. And I had a different shirt. I had no makeup, no earrings. So I looked like I was coming to clean your house or do therapy with you, but just like very plain. And then I do my therapy sessions. And then yes. So wait, when did your mother leave you? Okay. And you were, oh, okay. Now, I noticed that you said, this is how I act, but I don't have this makeup on. So I was like, okay, look at me. No glasses on. Hair is out. Breaking a little bit of front. And then, because she was like, I like to keep the world separate, but I really think I'm going to put them together a little bit more. Even when I went to the Mental Wealth Expo, this big mental health thing that iHeartRadio and Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club puts on in Newark last weekend, as soon as I got in there, it was all like my hair business. It was all front and center. Like I was trying to put my other hat on. I got run into right away the person that made my first products and was very, very much a part of my hair business in the beginning. And we had fell out. He fell out with me because he was petty, but we're friends now. So I said, look at this. This is what mental health is. Like we were so emotional. He initiated that emotion. I was emotional in response. And I said, this shows like how important this is, because we got to a point now where we can reconcile, and like we're over that and we're able to come together and actually be friends. After I have waited him for over a decade. I have waited him. Like I said, if I see him in the street, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I was like going postpartum too and everything. I was like, I would be going down his block and I'm like, I better not see him. My heart would be racing. And now I see him and I hug him and we take pictures. And the second thing, another lady recognized, if y'all know, anybody has ever gone to my, any of the events I used to have back in the day, like 2011, 2012 on Fulton Street. I used to do panel discussions. I had a brand called Brothers That Love Sisters with Natural Hair. I know it's I had a logo. I found my pictures and everything of the guys, the male models. All of these men were saying they support Black women in their natural state. So I had this whole brand and we did a panel discussions and we all male panels. And so then I did one of my events, maybe before that one, before I really built out that brand, was a self-love one. And I had Umar Johnson. Before he went crazy, Umar Johnson was my headliner. Like it was in Restoration Plaza in Brooklyn on Fulton Street. And it was like vendors and I could say this now, as many years later. Restoration Plaza gave me that space for free because I went and spoke to them and told them my vision. And they said, we believe in you. We like your energy. You don't got to pay us a dime. And I had that place for 6-7 hours. And then Umar Johnson, I was like, can you speak on self? I love what you talk about with psychology, with relationships, with Black love. And he was like, I normally charge so-and-so, but you know, it's my first time in Brooklyn, so you don't have to pay me nothing. Just make sure I have a plate of food. Okay, sister? And he used to do like little ads for me, like support this sister. Brothers are living. So before he went on another, I don't know what he's doing. I texted him actually not that long ago. We was texting, but I was like, man, if you don't stop, like you're doing too much. But I still respect the impact that he had. So I did that. And then I went and I was waiting in line to get my book signed. Do y'all know, he's a popular guy on Instagram. Oh God. James, he was at the mental health, Nubia, can you get that book off the bookshelf? Anyway, I was waiting in line to get him to sign a book. And the lady behind me was like, you said you have a hair business? Because somebody asked me, like, what do I do? And I didn't say natural beauty. I just said, I'm a therapist and I have a hair empire. And she's like, oh, you look like a therapist. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And the lady said, you said you have a hair empire? Did you used to do discussions in Brooklyn? And I was like, oh, yeah, I used to do panel discussions. Yeah. Naturally beautiful hair care is my business. And did you come to one? And she was like, did you have Umar Johnson? And I was like, I did. At Restoration, she was like, yeah. I went to that and I was like, oh, she said, I knew you looked familiar. I was like, look at me at a whole mental health expo in Newark. And she remembers me from, so it just made me, I don't know. I see things as confirmation that I wanted to fuse it together. And I have some ways I'm going to do it in that ways that it's not happening. Cause I'm always like, what do we need in this industry? What do we need, period? What do we need for our people? How can I use this industry to help our people? And so I had some ideas, and I already told you I have a nonprofit, right? But I'm really gonna build it up because we're about to get some, we want to get some funding. But all the money, only reason why I want is to be able to get funds to put back. I want to give grants. I want to be getting, I love when people 10,000, 25,000. I want to be able to be like, start your business, do this, do that. Like I want to do that because that's what I just always dreamed of that when I was going through my own struggle in the WIC office and the food stamps office with the Ivy League degree and a single mom as a single mom trying to just feed my baby with this business. And I remember saying, dang, it'd be nice if somebody could help. But all I'm getting is hate and negativity in this industry. I feel like there's angels out. Like I feel like there's people doing great things. And Beauty to the Streets is a nonprofit that is beauty based. I love what she's doing. Makeovers for the homeless, but I want to be able to have my own impact as well. And I think our program, Microloc Mastery, is a huge testament to the power what we could do, just even with opportunities. With them training in their own classes with the curriculum, but I see, and then I give them the small grant with that. And then they have the ability to make. So one person, just with 2 students in her grant, she did $3,500. She made $3,500 in like less than a month. And so that's just small. Imagine packing out the classes, and my heart just it got warm. So it just makes me happy. I don't know. That's what I want to do. I want to have discussions, be able to have people have a place where we can get support on a different level, because there's a therapist in here now. We're not going to tolerate some of this transference and projection and nonsense. And then somebody is going through some trauma and we identify it, how we can get people connected with what they need help with. Like just what I think would help us would be very helpful on a deeper level. Yeah, it's hair, but it's always been deeper than hair. And I don't also, I love to like talk about like people who are scamming, but why? Are you in a desperate, some people are in a mode of desperate where that they feel like that's the only thing that they can do. I feel like I can't invest, but if I do this like this and I charge this is how I'm gonna pay my rent this month. But how about we don't have to do that? Let's get to the reasons why you think that that's okay, and you can really be in abundance by doing something right. Like I think poverty and being desperate is also can be a mindset. I've heard people tell me they can't afford $30 or $35 a membership because they're a single mother, but they have a ton of clients. And I have people that I would like to, that I'm referring to the place where they can put that listing for that 35. Like it's just the mindset is just interesting. And I think it's just a lot. It's a lot of things. I think people moving desperate. I think people are moving. I know for a fact that one girl, the one person, copied my sales page and then I don't know her, and then went and kept trying to use the names I use and present, and people keep thinking they're paying my program, and she keeps doing it. And so people are like, what's wrong with her? And I'm like, that's mental health. That is what I mean. And I'm not entirely crazy. I know I'm sensitive, but I'm not speaking out of my ass when I say there are people doing these things. And I know, and I don't speak about it all the time because I'm like, I'm not going to stay there. But she literally is targeted, trying to and then people know that I went to Ivy League. I'll say like I went to Ivy League school only in context of my background and why I chose this industry when I could be doing like, and I brought discussions to Columbia University. So my Ivy League school was a part of this brand, the business. And then she go and say stuff like, we're giving you an Ivy League education, knowing you didn't go to Ivy. Like, just stuff to kind of keep showing that you're trying to be petty. You're trying to get the little couple of thousand you're getting. The people are making their way back over to us and saying, I thought that was your program. Because someone thought they were certified in my program. She's like, I'm already certified in your program. I said, what's your name? And I checked, and she's like, oh, I thought it was yours. But why does she keep doing that? You know? And then when you put legal on it, they keep trying to come back up with another name that's similar. Craziness, craziness, craziness. Child. I remember those days. Hi, Wendy. My Microlocs. Yeah, no, they're not sister locks. You can go back on my channel, go all the way, and you'll see Microlocs are not another word for sister locks. But thank you so much. There's no such thing as serendipity. It's planned. Everything. And if we want to go deep, 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 they say, it's on a deeper level of, y'all know I had I had a trending video a few years ago. I had a near-death experience. I don't know who saw that. It was a little trending, meaning like it may have hit like a few hundred people liked it, or maybe it was 1,000. I don't know. But I had a near-death experience when I had COVID pneumonia, and I came back with some awareness that was so needed, and it has helped me. Every time I start getting caught up, I realize when it gave me insight into the nature of this reality. And we are never alone. We have nothing to fear. We are surrounded by so much energy. And then I saw, like, I was in between, and I was told if I go to that light, I would die. And then, anyway, I had like 103 fever for like 10 days in a row, and I had pneumonia building from COVID, and it gave me insight. I came back. I'll cry for like, I was like, I don't know who I could tell this story to, but I almost died. Like, it was a bigger version of myself. If it was me, versions of me. Anyway, I say that to say, I always feel like, I call her Big Jessyca, is helping orchestrate things that are going to take me to my highest awareness. So that hater, that girl, that one, I just send them love because they are a version of me. That's what I was trying to say earlier. So like, we never really have quote unquote haters. And then I have to learn to have compassion, because there's some reason why that's the best thing that they know how to do. Right? And that's very odd for people, because people want to be angry, but the more you stay in the anger, it's really about rejecting the lesson. Like, so just get it, just send compassion, because wouldn't I have wanted, there's things that I probably did to piss people off, or maybe knowingly or unknowingly, wouldn't I want compassion? So I send a compassion. If that's how that woman feels she has to make her money, is by doing those kind of things. It must be really sad, but you have to go that way, or you have to have that in your mind, a target to make sure, like, instead of just saying I admire what you do, or I respect it, what, now I have to do it this way. And that had to come from a place of that she experienced something, but she wished she had to do it that way. Yeah, child. Post-traumatic slave syndrome, a very, very powerful book. Pervasive low self-esteem is what comes out. And I also think about the other girl, because you think about when people are envious or jealous or want to look like somebody else or whatever. Sometimes they're not feeling like they can be fabulous on their own, but you can. You are. Yeah. Ooh. That was a lesson. I'm playing with this bracelet, child. Nubia. Excuse me. She did not give me the book. She did not leave her room. And did you the book that's on the bookshelf called The Man of the Moment. And did you eat dinner?
No.
The Man, the Moment, the Man. So this guy, Jason Wilson, is supposedly very, very popular. Here, he look like this. Yeah, everybody's on Patreon. But he supposedly has a whole lot of Instagram, and the guy's like, I don't know. He goes, Sister Jessyca, there's no freedom in the facade, break free. Anyway, that's when I was in line for these books that lady said, I recognize you. And all I said was, I did all those discussions as a social worker, doing a hair business, and we were coming out with some self-esteem, biggest thing. Confidence, biggest thing. Lack of that is the biggest issue. Once we know who we are, once you know who you are unstoppable. No one can tell you other. What you know and believe, that's the thing. You can know who you are, but then not believe it. That makes you unstoppable in any industry. That keeps you from doing little petty stuff like that or that. And then for me, also, I also struggled And I was very transparent. Again, on social media, on my Facebook, I'm transparent. I shared about something I was also struggling with, the area of therapy that I want to tap into when it comes to body image and eating disorders and things like that. I did share something before I did a raw cleanse. But I remember saying to, it's like I almost signed a contract with myself that I don't like myself. I said the only reason why I can justify doing anything this harsh to myself is if I don't love myself. So I guess I don't love myself, and how that sets up a whole bunch of situations and interactions with people, places, and things that are going to put you in positions where you are forced to learn that, or you have an opportunity to learn it, because you can always make a choice not to learn a lesson and continue to go into abusive situations, continue to go in situations where people always doing you wrong, always scamming you, always whatever, until you get, a certain lesson from it. And it really is about something that your higher self has designed for you anyway, to get, or what's being designed to get to your high. I don't know how to explain it. I can't explain it right now, but I can explain it if I had more time. But I'm going to get ready to go because I feel like I've been talking and I'm tired now, and I do want to send over the recordings. So thank you so much. Nubia's birthday was the 15th, which, what day was that? Last week. Thursday or something. Her birthday was last week, so she turned 12. And when I started all this, it was around as, I know when she was conceived, I was hitting my momentum with the business. And I remember when I found out I was pregnant, I said, my world is about to change forever. And it did. And a lot of stuff was going to go away. A lot of stuff was going to go downhill. And then it was only to be built back better. So she's my really close with me in that way. And her hair was looking crazy. So she won't let me do it. So I can't really put her on camera because she'll have a piece of lint. The roots is all overgrown. She wears it like this. Straight. This is how she walks around. Nubia, take your hair out your face. It doesn't look cute. My profile. This is the best way for my profile. And I'm like, girl. And then she'll literally go like this to walk out the door. So no, my 12-year-old is not. All right, this has been great. Thank y'all so much for coming out to my talk. I hope to see y'all if y'all want to be in the group. And I will try to get back on, do the lives from my phone. It seems like it's a little bit better. Bye, y'all.